What if I told you there are 5 AI services right now that no one is talking about, and I made $47,350 last month selling them? Not chatbots, not AI writing tools, not another ChatGPT wrapper. While everyone's racing to the bottom selling $500 social media packages, I'm charging clients $3,000 to $15,000 per month for AI services that actually move the needle on revenue. And the crazy part, each one takes less than 8 hours to set up and then runs almost completely on autopilot. Look, in the next 20 or so minutes, I'm showing you exactly what these services are, how to sell them, who needs them, how to price them, and I'm then going to cover an overview as to how to close your first 5 clients in under 30 days. Firstly, highest ROI. Every service here directly impacts revenue or sales, which is the easiest thing to sell. Second, measurable results. Third, recurring revenue. When you're building your business from scratch, you want recurring revenue from the get-go because then you know how to budget for overheads each month. The last thing you want to be doing is getting project-based revenue each month. My revenue is all retainers. So when people say they build a $50,000 or $70,000 a month business, check how much is recurring revenue and how much was from a couple of big clients. Number 1, database reactivation. If you're new here, if you've been here for a while, you'll know that this is one of my bread and butters when it comes to all things AI. Fantastic service, multiple different ways of doing it. You've got the generic way, which is basically just taking a database, getting a phone number and SMSing them. SMS is fantastic here. Or you've got the more advanced way, which is where you actually engage and pull the AI metrics into it. So one's essentially a SMS agent, the other is a full AI solution. Now, the problem you're solving here is every business has a goldmine of dormant customers in their database. People that are brought but never came back. And most companies are sitting on 10,000 plus contacts and doing nothing with them. You'd be surprised how many customers have never touched their database. So how does database reactivation work? Well, if you're going to be doing it properly, just run an SMS approach and take the list, SMS them. If you take to the next level and actually use AI to analyze purchase history, engagement patterns, and customer segments, if you then segment it based on how likely they are to rebuy from you, and then you launch a really customized campaign, way more effective. So first up is to analyze the data. You import sales data from a massive CSV into a N8N build. Then you start personalizing your messages. I use Opus for all personalization elements. You'll hear that a lot on this channel. When a better model comes out, I'll use that. But when it comes to writing personalized elements, don't skimp. And then multi-channel. You're going to be hitting them with email, SMS, and social media, which is a new one that I've been working in recently. But again, when you're doing new builds at the beginning, you can start with just one element. So tech stack here, usually Airtable or Google Sheets. I use Google Sheets a lot more than Airtable, to be honest. OpenAI, SendGrid, Twilio, or Instantly, depending on how you're going to be doing it. Twilio obviously will run your SMS. I'd also like to add here, go high level. I use it as a brain in the middle of a lot of things because it's very easy to run additional marketing campaigns from there. If you're building an N8N workflow for this, you'll run a schedule trigger. So it'll run through, it'll read the database, which will be in the form of a Google Sheet or an Airtable. You'll then segment based on AI. You'll then generate messages. So the message generation is usually, let's say in an e-commerce example, based on when they purchased, what they purchased, how many times they've repurchased. If you've got any data onto how many times they've been on the site, all those elements usually come together to form the information that the AI model can create a personalized message from. If it is a local business, like I'm doing one at the moment for a pergola and patio builder, these are leads that came through their contact form. We're taking the original quote request, so it's the region when they inquired what their initial message said, that's all becoming part of the personalization of the message. It depends on where you want to send it. Response handler, this is where go high level is fantastic. You can actually run response handling, specifically SMS and social through there a lot easier. The goal with the response handler is to take the lead all the way through to having a booked call or requesting more information. The CRM update is to then tell their CRM that this lead is warm again. Setup time, 4 to 6 hours, depending on your skill levels, then a couple of hours a month to run it. 3 to 5K setup, and then a revenue share. I usually do 3 to 5K setup and 5 to 10% of revenue. because the companies I work for usually have slimmer margins but bigger dollar figures. Of course, 20% revenue is good if you're running a bigger margin. Conversational AI sales agents. This is a good one. Conversational AI sales agents, in my opinion, are the easiest thing to sell when you're new to AI, because they enable you to actually replace a staff member, or, as you know my philosophy of more, they actually enable you to add a 24/7 salesperson that people have never had before. That means people now get to respond to their leads while they sleep. They get to have new appointments booked. They get to follow up with leads that they never could. And you're coming in and literally adding an A-player salesperson that never takes a break, never takes time off, never slacks, never is sick, never misses a beat. That's why they're so easy to sell, because you can literally come in and say, hey, I'm going to just add pure revenue for you. And especially in your beta test at the very beginning, as I'll cover in a minute, this really enables you to come in heavy, make big claims, don't take any money up front, deliver, and then get paid on the back end. So ultimately the problem is that most businesses can't respond fast enough. And most businesses don't even know they need to respond fast. Speaking to a client once, this is a client we were doing pay-per lead for years ago. We were generating leads. We were qualifying that the lead was correct. We were using conversational AI to qualify the lead. This was for pool heating. Do you currently have a pool? Yes. What kind of heating are you interested in? We're interested in solar heating. Fantastic. We'll get someone to give you a call. They would let those leads sit for 2 days. These leads were qualified and ready to go. They'd let them sit for 2 days. No wonder they didn't close any. The sales team waste time on unqualified leads, and then ultimately no one's available 24/7. You know, if someone inquires at 9 p.m., they're ready at 9 p.m. to talk. They just know they're not going to get in touch with you till the next day. I've closed deals at midnight via email. People work weird hours. And because I work across time zones, it's midnight to them, it's 8 in the morning for me. Now, how do sales agents work? So these engage leads within seconds. These can either be website chat widgets, or they can be voice agents or SMS agents. SMS agents are the best for this, because if someone's inquiring out of hours and they're lying in bed at 11 o'clock at night, SMS is very unintrusive and very, very effective. So they'll engage with leads, they will qualify, they will then objection handle. If you're selling AI, you know that most AI models are better at objection handling if you tell them the sales model you want them to follow than any human will ever be. Most business owners think they have the best objection handles ever. So you can train them and you can say, hey, we'll train them based on your exact scripts. And then the business owner goes, fantastic, a salesperson that finally listens to me. And you really get to double down on that. So these guys, you want them to be booking appointments and then integrating with the CRMs, ultimately for a human handoff. So many different ways you can build these. Usually I run GPT-4 Turbo because you just want a quick, lightweight response. 11 labs if you're running any voice, Calendly, API, and Dashbot. Training process, upload the company scripts and FAQs. You'll train based on the product knowledge, and then the program objection handling setup and appointment rules. AI content multiplication. How one blog post can become 147 pieces of content. This is a really cool tool to sell to small businesses. A lot of small businesses never have time to do content. It's enormously effective. So that's where this comes in. The problem you solve is you create content on multiple platforms and you take a long form blog post or a video recording. You can jump on a tool like Riverside FM and actually do a podcast style interview of someone. And that becomes the basis of enough long form content and short form content and written content and Instagram posts, and run through different AI tools. You can create the image posts and then use Fail to actually generate the images and the videos to go on the Instagram and the TikTok. All these things can be done from one initial chunk of input. And that's why it's fantastic. If you want to put out a piece of content every day across every social media platform and you want a pre-AI agency to do it, you're looking at least $10,000 a month. Now you can offer that for $2,000 a month, and you start putting that much volume out and you start seeing leads. And that's where the value comes. So quite often one blog post, what you'll do is you'll turn one blog post into social media. So Twitter threads, LinkedIn posts, Instagram stories, TikTok hooks. This is an example, of course. You can run this in different ways. This is an example of how I would frame it and package it. The target hits every keyword their niche could possibly have. This is a fantastic way. I have done this before for chiropractors. This is a really great way to take a podcast style interview and run it through. And podcast, you just transcribe it. It's that simple. And tech stack here, ultimately it's similar as most Anthropic or ChatGPT. Canva API, using Canva. I'm also using FAL a lot more. I'm finding that stable diffusion via FAL API is really powerful to create quote-based images. The biggest challenge I'm finding with that is you need to have a human in the loop just to hit refresh a couple of times if there is a spelling or a grammar mistake. We're not quite there yet, but we're a lot further than we were 6 months ago as far as getting these images done properly. With AI models, AI will extract the key points, generate the variations, and go from there. Check my channel. I've got build videos for most of these. AI workflow automation, a really great system. So with this one, basically you will be resolving a lot of manual tasks. It's not usually one workflow, usually it's multiple workflows. As an example, it could be email sorting, data entry, task creation, follow-ups, report generation, etc. You're going to create a workflow for it where people can either put in a form or just start the workflow themselves. It becomes a bit of an onboard agent. Usually this is more of a build process, and you can tag a retainer on, and the retainer can be as simple as upgrading the model that you're using for the work. They get a massive upgrade to their performance, and that's all that really matters. It's about delivering results, not work. As an example, AI reads all incoming emails, identifies the action items, creates tasks in project management, assigns the right team member, and sets a deadline of priority. So for this, you could use Monday.com or ClickUp as the task management system or whatever they're using. You can then do document extraction. So extracts data from invoices, uploads it, routes it to the right person to get it approved. Again, stuff where they used to have admins do. And then you can also do the customer service triage, which usually includes a human in the loop. At this stage, most businesses like human in the loop, which means if a support ticket comes in, it will draft a response, human in the loop email it to the support person needs to go and just keeps firing these off. So they can handle 4 to 5 times more tickets. As you get more data, you'll be able to just run full AI. Now, this is a more advanced build because you need to understand process flow. If you're brand new to business, this is why this is not the number one technique that I recommend, because you need to understand how businesses work. If you're familiar with an industry, you're familiar with the pain points. You can always jump onto ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and start digging deep and finding what processes that industry has problems with. 5, AI competitive intelligence. Now, this is a really, really cool tool. The core problem here is most companies are blindsided by the competitors, whether it's new products, price changes, marketing campaigns, hiring sprees. Manual monitoring is not enough and it's impossible at scale. If you set up AI competitive intelligence, you can actually pull together. Having a crawler, and Perplexity is great for this, go through and consistently check the website and send a report to your client as to what's happened, what's changed, why it's changed, and do they recommend that you do the same thing. Social media, you can also track campaigns, tracking news and PR, tracking job postings. This gives you a bit of an idea as to what they're really doing at scale. So this is really an alert creator at its core. You're going to scrape the sources, clean the data, do an AI analysis. All things website, Perplexity is fantastic. The rest, honestly, GPT Pro at the moment is really, really good because you'll take a large body of data and you can get it down to a very simple, actionable element, which is really, really good for things like this, which is a alert. Then you'll do a threat score, generate the insights, and alert the stakeholders. So competitor launched freemium tier, likely targeting our SMB segment, recommend adjusting pricing strategy. Like, that's an alert. This is why O3 Pro is so powerful here. Here's the biggest problem with selling things the way they used to be sold. And that's the 97% of agencies just sell crap. They sell crap and they sell outdated services. With AI, you can really generate some value. Like, this is some of the results that we've generated in the last 60 days. For an e-commerce brand, we did a database reactivation, generated $73,000 of sales. It's an 873% ROI. And that is a great case study to then sell to other e-commerce businesses. SaaS companies, we did an AI sales agent. Huge amounts of conversations, were a lot more effective than our old human SDRs, and $127,000 of closed deals. Massive value there. And again, you can track again, these are really great case studies where if you jump back over here To the old agency model where everything was done by hand, it was hard to get value quickly. We also did workflow automation for a local shutters business. They were installing shutters and blinds. We saved 32 hours per week of general housekeeping on back end. We highly recommended they did not fire the people who weren't needed for this position anymore. Instead, realign them in the business to provide more leverage. So why an AI agency? Ultimately, an AI agency provides more value. It's an immensely rising market. Every business in the world has to adopt AI fully, or they're going to be out of business very soon. And that's it. So you can either be with a tide that's rising, or you can be going against the core base. Now, this is something really cool. That's my AI performance predictor. This is a fantastic element for campaigns. And what it does is it brings together the largest available marketing database we've ever seen into one place, and then evaluates a campaign, be it AdWords, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram ads, and will tell you pretty accurately, like 94% accuracy, what the outcome of that campaign is going to be. This is usually a B2B agency sale, or it's a sale to a large in-house team. Now, I charge $12,000 a month for this. I've only sold a few of them because it does require a lot of work, but it'll actually analyze the ad copy, the landing page, the funnel on the back end of it. And whenever they change elements of those things, it reruns and lets them know what the predicted outcome is, which can save huge amounts of money. I've got a client we're doing some ads for at the moment who is refusing to update the website, although the website's converting at less than 0.5%, and that is pumping money through ads. So we'll see how that goes. I have built multiple new websites for them with Claude AI and with Lovable, as well as with Bolt. They just want to do things their way. Now, 30-day launch plan. If you want to start selling one of these services and you're brand new here, first thing, set up N8N on a cloud server. Don't waste your time screwing around. Get your API keys, get some basic templates installed, and ultimately you also want to practice in your own business. So whatever automations you think you want to sell to a client, set them up for yourself. So there's no use selling a social media content generation solution if you're not running the same thing for yourself. They're going to look at your social and be like, this is fantastic. Years ago when I sold SEO, the best way to sell SEO is to rank number one. And that's what I did. And it became easy to sell. Now, week 2, you want to be getting your first client sold. You're going to sell this in a beta mode, which is basically, let's do this for free for the first month. You're going to have some sort of performance fee on the back end, get it built, get a case study out of it. Week 3, you're going to turn this into case studies. You want to be getting a video case study. So you want to work quick. You want to, let's say, sign someone for database reactivation or for a AI sales agent. You want to be acting quick, building it within 24 to 48 hours and getting it live. You let it run for 7 to 10 days, get some results, get a case study, get them on a Zoom call, have them talk about what they've seen so far. That becomes a case study. And then you can reach out to more prospects to build the thing out. For your initial beta client, you want to be reaching out to everyone you got a relationship with. Don't get too fancy here. You really just want to get your first client. I read a comment the other day and a guy said, hey, I've had my AI voice agency for 6 months and haven't had any clients. If you don't have any clients, you don't have an agency. Realistically, you're not an agency until you've got at least 5 staff working for you. Now, in the world of AI, 5 staff will put you at least $100,000 a month. Most people are freelancers at best, and this guy didn't even have any clients. Now, the most important client you ever get is your first client. I still remember my first client. It was $500 a month, 14 years ago. Still remember the guy, because that's the thing that went from 0 to 1. Every business you've gone to, every business you've spent money with, every person you know who may or may not have a business, do it for free. Get the result. And then offer a free audit once you've got it. You can pump the LinkedIn method. I've got the LinkedIn method on my channel. Check that out. And then you got the referral partner play as well. Ultimately, referral partners will want some form of case study because their reputation's online if they're sending you there. One of the things with the partner play is they could also become your beta client if you really think about it and go, hey, I want to build this for you. And if you love it, I'd love you to introduce it to your clients, but do it for free for them. Now, biggest mistakes. Don't price too low. anything under $2,000 a month usually attracts bad clients. The only caveat to this is if you're doing social media content creation and it's a set and forget style model. I've seen lots of people that have done SEO for years because it's been $400 a month and it's just, I'm doing SEO. They don't get anywhere, they never get any results, but they're doing it. And a lot of people think that doing the work is the same as getting the result, and it's not. You don't want to offer everything. Start with 2 services, master them. You also want to skip the setup fee. You always want them to put some sort of skin in the game, except for your initial beta client. Get your initial beta client a case study. Do whatever it takes to get that client, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Now you're going to be doing some premium pricing. Get your beta client, get your first 5 beta clients. Do whatever you need to do. Get some case studies, deliver results. The biggest mistake I see agencies make is everyone keeps talking about premium pricing before premium results. If you're charging, let's say $3,000 a month for something someone else is selling for $1,500 a month, and you're not delivering at least 4 times as much value, you are doing a disservice to yourself and you're ruining the industry. Period. Get good first. And then specialize. Once you know the systems you're good at, the systems that align with you, pick an industry, specialize in that system, that industry, and then get paid to build. And ultimately, you don't want to be running more than a couple of hours a month per client. It's a business model where you probably want to be running 20 to 30 clients at 2 to 3K each. Great little business. Run it. Stack the cash. Invest it in real estate. Move on with life. So, are you ready to build your agency? This is an enormous market, enormous opportunity, and we're not going to see anything like this again in our lifetime. The market is growing so quickly, you've just got to absolutely hammer it. Any questions? I'll see you on the next.